Nvidia's earnings this week, and this may be one of the most important earnings for the year. This is a big one. You want to pay close attention. The date that's coming, it's going to be August 26th when the market closes, which is on a Wednesday. Pay close attention because this is going to send the market either higher or it could have it pull back, in my opinion, right? Wall Street is expecting Nvidia to generate around 92 billion in quarter revenue, nearly double what the company generated a year ago. But here's the big question. Even if Nvidia beats expectations, is that already priced in to the stock, right? Because we've seen the stock have a run up, right? It went all the way, I believe it hit 230 or even a little bit higher, and then it pulled back. But not too long ago, the stock was trading under $200 and it was having a hard time breaking that 200. So we had a little bit of run before earnings because Nvidia doesn't just have to beat Wall Street anymore. The company has to prove that AI boom is still accelerating. That's what investors are going to be looking at. Now, why is this earnings report different than others? This isn't just another earnings report. NVIDIA has become the company investors look to answer massive questions. Is the AI spending still accelerating? See, if you look up NVIDIA's forward PE, I believe, and you can double check this, I believe it's around 21, 22. Okay, for a company like NVIDIA, that's a great forward PE. The company's considered undervalued. You can also go ahead and look at the PEG ratio. When you look at the PEG ratio, usually if it's under 1, it's considered undervalued. If you look up NVIDIA's, it is under 1. Okay. So right now, if you're an investor and you're looking to add a great asset to your portfolio, you may be really interested in NVIDIA. But you might be wondering, hey, if NVIDIA, it's an amazing company. It always beats earnings, right? Why is it under value? Why isn't the share price higher? Why isn't it around what some analysts are saying should be around 250? Some are even saying 300. And I agree with them. I believe the share price for NVIDIA, with the results it's had in the past, it should be a lot higher than where it is today. But the big question that a lot of people don't have the answer to, and this is just my opinion, and hopefully I'm answering it for you, is why, right? Why isn't it moved? Is because investors don't believe that the company can continue to grow the rate it's growing, right? People are expecting a slowdown, and that's why, in my opinion, you don't see the share price moving to where it should be, because some people are thinking, hey, in 2027 or 2028, Nvidia is going to start to slow down and the share price is going to be impacted by this. So that's why you see the share price where it's at. But I bought Nvidia. I added that to my portfolio about over a year ago. And since I got in the stock, even though it hasn't moved as fast as some other companies, it's moved up $100 a share from where I got it in. So in my portfolio, it's done wonderful. Hey, I don't think Nvidia is going anywhere. I think it's an amazing company. And I think the slowdown is not anytime soon. I think it's going to be, like I said, towards like 28. So meaning there's still a lot of opportunity to the upside in share price in the short term, in my opinion. Now, I'd love to know in the comments down below, do you have NVIDIA? Do you agree with me? But be careful for some of those of you that may play into earnings. Remember, NVIDIA in their previous earnings, they beat. And what does the share price do most of the time? It sells off. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen on Wednesday 26th. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I do believe investors do want to see how NVIDIA is doing, because they want to see if the AI is still growing, right? Because we have a lot of companies like Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, and other major technology companies that have spent so much money in AI infrastructure, right? NVIDIA is in the middle of all that spending. So when the CEO of NVIDIA gives guidance, Wall Street isn't just listening for NVIDIA's numbers. Investors are trying to figure out what these numbers say about the AI industry, right? We want to see, hey, is the AI bubble going to explode, right? Because a lot of people talk about an AI bubble. Now, in my opinion, I don't believe there's an AI bubble. I believe AI is the future. You can see big boy companies that are actually generating enormous amounts of money going all in on these companies. I know a lot of people are comparing it to the dot-com bust. But the dot-com bust, there's some differences than with the AI, right? Back then, you had companies, share price skyrocketing, but these companies weren't even making any money. These are the biggest companies in the world, and they're generating a ton of money, and they're going all into AI. And I believe this is the future. And I believe the ones that are investing and adding these companies into their portfolio, they're going to build wealth um, in the long term. Now, that's just my opinion, right? Can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just letting you know what I think and what I think are great companies. And I think not having Nvidia in your portfolio, you could be missing out. That's why I have it. Now, I could be wrong. I always like to share that. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to be looking at is not just the numbers, because I believe Nvidia is going to beat Wall Street. When it comes to Nvidia in the numbers, Wall Street is looking for approximately 92 billion in quarter revenue, which is crazy. This is it's an incredible number. The data center business is expected to remain the biggest driver, with analysts looking for roughly 85 billion from that segment. But here's the problem for Nvidia investors. Expectations are already extremely high, like always for Nvidia. At this point, simple earnings beat may not be enough. Nvidia may need to beat revenue expectations, beat earnings expectations, and more importantly, here's the key: provide guidance that tells Wall Street AI demand is still accelerating. I think for Nvidia to go higher after earnings, we got to beat on everything by a big amount, right? We got to surprise investors by the beat and then kill it on guidance. If that happens, I believe that's what it's going to take to shoot this thing from currently. I think it closed on Friday around 216. Double check that, but to send this thing to $250 a share, and I do believe it can happen. I do believe it can happen, but we have to wait for earnings because again, a lot of the earnings it sells off. So we'll have to pay close attention. But if you want to know, in my opinion, is that this thing needs to be big and give that guidance. And I think if it can do that, this thing is going to skyrocket. So let's pay close attention to Wednesday when the market closed, what the earnings say about Nvidia. What I think at the end of the day, I think this is a great company to have in your long-term portfolio. That's just my opinion. I love to know yours down in the comments below. Do you hold Nvidia? What do you think is going to happen after earnings? I love to read your opinions down below. And if you haven't done so and you're still watching this video all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like always, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, check out the description box. If you're looking for a community to join, we're just looking to build wealth and we're around like-minded people, then join my Patreon. Go ahead and check that out. Got some links in there for you in the description box. So don't forget to check that out. Like always, thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video.